Evening everybody, welcome to our What's Hot update, which is basically going to concentrate on our top 10 systems tonight. So I'm going to break this up into two sessions because there's a lot to go through with the What's Hot update. So we're going to focus mainly on the Forex tonight, but we will also we'll also be discussing some of the futures markets and some futures stuff as well. So thanks for joining us. Done is we've actually put together a process of making sure that when you're doing your testing that you're getting more accurate results, and that involves looking at the Renko bricks and doing a couple of minor things to make sure that your results are consistent and that you're getting a more of a true indication or reflection of how those results are going to pan out in real time. Because at the end of the day, you are definitely going to want to have a setup or a strategy that is consistent with obviously your back testing, because you don't want any real major surprises when you go live in the market. You don't want to see that your system isn't robust enough in a real-time environment. And part of that is making sure that obviously there's a couple of key things, obviously that you're getting good spreads, that your execution is good, and that you're just not trading at times when potentially the environment isn't right for your strategy. So that can be anything from trading non-farm payrolls to public holidays or the day after, day before public holidays, trading bank holidays. So all of these little things that we talk about when we go through and do our trading plan, you just need to make sure they're in your trading plan, and then if they are in your trading plan, that they are then transferred into basically your trader self-assessment, or your checklist, because it's very easy to get into a situation where you can potentially forget about looking at, say, Forex Factory on a day, and particularly when you're not manually executing, you've got this a little bit of a separation between you and your system, and when you do get into that situation, you're not physically executing the trades. You've still got to be on top of your game in relation to to analysing the market, and also making sure that is today the right day for you to trade. Now, what I'm going to be doing on Tuesday is I'm actually going to be going through something that we call a volatility matrix, and I'm going to do some analysis over the next few days just to look at our systems and look at, is there an advantage or an edge we can get, or a correlation between our systems and our system performance and volatility. And you've seen me speak about it before, or heard me speak about it before in the room, and you've seen the examples I've given on coffee, crude, DAX. So there is definitely, to me, objectively, there is a clear advantage in volatility and the futures market, but we also want to have a look at that in more detail with the futures market, and also then extrapolate that to the Forex market. But what I want to do tonight is I want to basically take you through in a bit of detail some of the best Forex strategies and markets that are currently running at the moment, and what's been really consistently good. So we're going to go through. There's around about 10 of them. There's around about 10. There are more, which I'll basically do up a little bit of a list of our top 10. But I'm going to just talk you through these tonight. And most of you, these are on the website. Most of you will. There's probably two that aren't, but most of you will be familiar with these, and some of you have actually sent these through. So have created these systems and these strategies based around the V2. I'd just like to say well done, congratulations, because you've done a super effort. And as I mentioned before, if we just get one really good strategy from every second person who does the program, we're going to have a multitude of systems to choose from, because we've already, as you'll see tonight, we're already up to system number 60. And I'm going to show you something tonight as well that's interesting too, because it's very important, and we touched on this last week, it's very important not to let a system go. So I'll explain that in a little bit more detail, but there's a really, really good example of system number 27, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. where that system had a it had a phenomenal start to its introduction to into the market, and we started tracking that during the trading competition, and it made about $19,000 over 12 weeks. So it was phenomenal, but it definitely took a bit of a hit, and now it's back in a big way. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that as well. So the first thing we want to look at is system number 16. Now this is one that Charles sent through, and this thing has just been powering along and has been consistently good for the entire time it's been running, and not just for the 12-week period that we had for the competition, but this thing has just taken off and just kept going. So if we have a look at the actual system 16, it's up to 17,205 from January. It's running at 56.60. It's on the trend trader. It's had 300 odd trades, so it's actually maintained a very good record as far as performance, and that's a good number of trades. That's a really good number of trades. Now it doesn't trade specific times of the day, or it's not been optimized to any degree, but it's basically just trading 24/7 or 24/5, and it's running without any real high performance configuration. So it's a really robust strategy as far as the euro dollar. We'd expect that from the euro, and we expect to see there's been a lot of volatility, as you can see from some of the trades just on the screen there, that that this thing is on a 5-brick Renko, so the traditional 5-brick. And if we just have a look at our screen here, you'll see that it's just picking up some really nice setups. It had a super day yesterday, like that was just yesterday, and today yesterday, fantastic. And you can see there 3 really beautiful trades, 1 small loser, but a super result there. And as I said, it's been very consistent. So this is what you want in a strategy. You want something that's robust, and it hasn't. If you look at the performance report, it really hasn't had any significant drawdown. Had a little bit of a dip there, but this is why it's important to have this multi-system approach. So the Euro US dollar Renko running, as I said, nicely on a 5-brick, and that's system number 16. Now